Hello everybody, what is up and welcome back. This is I'm going to be casting some Starcraft 2 games today. Streaming these all live on Twitch TV. Going through just a sick amount of games today. Trying to get my endurance up, but also just trying to pass time till MLG Anaheim. Because MLG's awesome and I'm anxious. But, you see the chatter. Here we go in the top right hand corner of the map, Metalopolis. I guess it's the far right hand corner. The 2 o'clock position, it is the red Zerg, Nexaz. And in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, the blue Protoss, it is SoupyC. Alright, I've casted some Nexaz games before, and they're talking about this map being removed from the ladder pool. I have to say, I'm not excited that this map's being removed. I love this map, TVZ. Cross spawns? Holy cow, this map is awesome, cross spawns. And there was a hot girl that just walked out my window. Say, what? Yeah, that's a good day. We do see the low ground pylon coming down here from SoupyC. Let's talk a little bit about this map. This map has to be a disaster for everybody but Zerg. I feel like you can't wall off here. Zerglings can just run around. You have to spend way too much more money on static defense. It's an easy third. Not an easy third, but a relatively easy third. As you see, SoupyC can go here and scout it out. You see here that this map does have the ramp, so it's really hard for like any kind of early aggression against Protoss because of the ability of force fields. But this is a map where you can forge fast expand just fine. I wouldn't recommend Nexus firsting on this map because any kind of early pull from the Zerg would just destroy you because you can't wall yourself off. But pretty good map for the forge fast expand in my opinion. But it looks like SoupyC going to go ahead and now go gateway first on 12. Actually, very interesting decision. Looks like he does want to play a little bit more different. Keep in mind this is a bronze level game, so there will not be, your super standard style play. But I love watching bronze games, as we do see a 17 hatch come down there for Nexaz. I do love watching bronze people play because it's so creative and intuitive. People just say, "What do I think will win here? I'm gonna make that unit." Because the higher leagues, right? Like I just got promoted to diamond, or I'm gonna get promoted to diamond, like in the patch or whatever. The higher you go up in leagues, I've noticed, the more like monocle-y you get. One gate fast expand, you're actually out of SoupyC. Something you don't see a whole lot anymore, especially against Zerg. The higher up in the leagues you go, you actually tend to see like people being afraid to innovate, and the drone pull. That's what I love about bronze, like the drone pull. Who pulls drones to kill a scouter? You should. Why not? You should. It makes 10 times more sense. But like the higher you go, the more rules you feel like you have to follow. And look at this wall off here from SoupyC. Gonna go ahead and throw that in that forge. No F's to give about the standard placement of that forge, and I love it. These are actually some of my favorite games to cast, just simply because of that innovation. The mailman's here. I need a package. I'm not going anywhere though. You can just leave it on the porch. Alright, Nexaz is going to go ahead and throw the guys into gas there, and I'm actually going to pull up my broadcast over there. And here we go. We're going to see the tech pass from both players. We'd like to see Nexaz Menard his workers down to his natural expansion. For those of you just new to StarCraft, just tuning in, or like just don't know StarCraft who are watching this VOD, if you move your workers down to your natural, which is what he's doing right here a little bit, if you split your workers evenly, you actually get a better income rate. First guy to figure that out was named Menard. He's the first guy to do it anyway. I don't know if he's the first one to figure it out. He's the first one to do it in a big match, and they call it Menarding. So, Nexaz and SoupyC just kind of building up their stuff here. Going to see what kind of tech path they're going to want to go for, and I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty excited. 2 pretty forward photon cannons. Don't know if this one over here is necessary, to be completely honest, just yet. This one's a little far away from like life and love and all that. Something interesting about SoupyC's wall off is it actually doesn't accomplish anything. It walls off this here. If he would have placed a cannon there, that would have been genius. But his main, actually, the access to his main is very open. You see the Overlord is out here for Nexaz. Very good Overlord positioning there. And the Roach Warren is on the way now for Nexaz. Nexaz is probably going to do one of those things that we see. Well, it's not a 3-hatch Roach, but a lot of the time what we're seeing now out of verbal diarrhea, what we're going to see a lot of the time now out of Zerg players is where they just get to 70 drones and just spam roaches. And as a Zerg player, it is the best thing in the world. Because no matter what you do, if you open with some kind of early Nexus, you lose. And it is one of the best things in the world. Yeah, that cannon placement, somebody said in chat, the Great Mood said that cannon placement, it does stop any kind of run by over here. And it does stop on like immediate access to the main. And that main's still pretty open in my opinion. I would like to see this cannon almost brought back here. But this cannon over here actually stops any kind of like crazy run by over there. Do you see the Lings are going to grab the wash tower, so he will have excellent map control. And what this is interesting. I wonder what SoupyC's plans are for these pylons over here. Do you see the layer tech going down now straight away for Nexaz? Nexaz would like to see him go ahead and grab some upgrades. Don't know why he's going layer tech. We'll be interested to see what kind of tech path he chooses. Keep in mind, layer tech, as Day 9 says, is the playground for Zerg. It's the Zerg playground because there's so many different tech options you can go. And look at this. This is some Bronze League genius. This is the kind of thing that will be a great habit to keep when Nexaz goes up in leagues. These Lings grabbing each expansion so he'll know exactly when his opponent is expanding. Gateways going down here on the low ground because why use your main? That's what I'm talking about, SoupyC. Hide any kind of crazy tech in your main. Still the gateways, everybody knows you're going gateways. Put them at your natural. I love it. We are going to see a little bit of push out here from Nexaz. Nexaz 70 supply to 51 supply of SoupyC. Checking out the army tab, 32 to 10. So this actually attack from Nexaz could be pretty actually devastating. There's only 2 cannons here, 3 zealots, a stalker, and a sentry. So this attack actually, I don't know how SoupyC is going to hold it. There's not a whole lot really to say. Actually, army on move command needs to get those on a move, and look at that, all the roaches just demolishing. Going to take out that cannon, and actually the Lings could chase up here into the main. That cannon will fall. 3 stalkers are going to warp in here, and the control here from Nexaz pretty good for a Bronze Leaguer. Going to take out that stalker sentry. Would like to see Nexaz almost just go up into the main and start picking off probes and pylons. All the stalkers here are going to fall. SoupyC 45 supply to the 73 of Nexaz. Nexaz only down to 4 roaches, however. 14 more roaches are on the way, however. Macro of Nexaz doing pretty good here. Would like to see him take out the cannons. Roaches are falling to the cannons, but the last cannon will fall here. 2 roaches are finally going to die. But the damage has been done certainly by Nexaz. Checking out the units lost out. 1450 to 1050 here for Nexaz with a good lead, 500 resources saved. Cannons are going to go ahead and go back down here. 3 cannons to be precise here from SoupyC, and this is what I love about Bronze League, especially the cannon placement. Just throw down some cannons, man. Why? This pylon is going to die, and will not supply block SoupyC since he is 53 of 100. And look, I mean, like we talked about the Zergling placement earlier. Even look here, even at his own bases, he's still spreading those to count for any hidden bases. As it's being talked about in chat, such great intuition that when you go to platinum or silver, even when people start to try to get cute, that's amazing kind of strategy that'll just stick with you. And all these roaches here are going to pick off every single sentry that just didn't do great force fields. Their force fields kind of whiffed a little bit. Not too bad for Bronze League. They weren't too bad at all. But all the roaches attacking into cannons. Actually would like to see him focus fire these stalkers down. And he is going to retreat instead. Going to get out of the range of those cannons. There he goes. Nexaz pretty good position here. Actually going to be able to pick off that last stalker. No, attack something. Got to work on getting his army into A move instead of M move. So that's okay there. This roach is doing a lot of damage. Glial reconstitution, excuse me, is on the way there. 17 roaches on production. The macro from the Zerg player is insane. Would love to see him throw down a macro hatch. Just throw down a macro hatch or even take a third. Would just be sick. It looks like here that all these roaches are going to take out all these stalkers. 3 roaches remaining to the 2 more stalkers. Looks like they should be taken out, but the huge warband here from SoupyC. 81 supply to 57, so SoupyC is holding on. But I don't think he'll be able to hold on much longer to this big flow of 17 roaches here. The creep spread even for Nexaz, pretty darn good for a Bronze League player. Look at that. 2 evolution chambers are on the way now. I would like to see him go ahead and just start throwing upgrades immediately. A lot of money, 3,500 in the bank, could afford to macro hatch, expand, or macro hatch double expand even. These overlords. Great view of the map here Nexaz has. Look at that. Can see pretty much everything that he needs to see. All these roaches are going to come in here. A little group of stalkers. The 2 robos are on the way now for SoupyC to deal with this, but there is another engagement. Roaches brashing up against the Zealots. All the Zealots do fall now, and it looks like Nexaz is going to push straight away. Force field does go down, but it doesn't do that good of a split. Roaches bashing straight against all these stalkers. And it looks like Nexaz is having a difficult time knowing what to do with these roaches against the stalkers. All these pylons are going to fall, actually, and they could. And it looks like the roach is going to retreat out here, out the back. That is 1 pylon to power them all. 3 gateways being piloted by that 1 pylon. Good engagement here from SoupyC against all these roaches. All of his stalkers are firing. Well, not all of them are fired for Nexaz. However, Nexaz just has too much. 83 to 55 supply. SoupyC is on his back foot. It looks like all these stalkers certainly will fall. Gateway's not on cooldown. He can afford to warp in, 5 gateways worth of units, and all the stalkers are going to fall here. We'd like to see him focus in on that pylon. Instead, he's going to go for the warping in units, and they will eventually clean them up. What is here? Another army is replaced where you cut off 1 head, another head will replace it. 4.7k here. Throw down 3 more expansions and 2 macro hatches, dude. You could take every single expansion on the base and still just roll units. 70 supply to 65 supply. So SoupyC pulling back into this a little bit. Looks like Nexaz is going to transition into Spire Tech. 2 Immortals are about to pop, and that actually should spell the end of this. A little bit of aggression here. Very nice for SoupyC to keep under pressure. Actually, the Immortals were on move command, and they don't get taken out, but they were on move command. Wasted a lot of possible damage time. The focus fire on the Immortals, very nice of Nexaz. Even at Bronze League to recognize the hard counters in units. Going to focus fire, and all the hard shields off that Immortal are gone. Looks like he is going to go over here and start attacking these pylons. 2 roaches. There's a Spire on the way. No units are in production. 2 more Immortals did just pop. And something that SoupyC is going to have to be wary of if he goes too heavy on this Immortal production. He's not going to actually have enough anti-air to deal with the mutas that are going to be incoming. There are 12 larvae now for Nexaz. So Nexaz, if you watch this, bro, larva injects, man. If you larva injected, you would have won this game like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, the transition to Immortals, as people are pointing out in chat, very nicely done here. Going to deal with those roaches, but Nexaz on top of that, transitioning into Spire Tech. I would like to see him just pummel out a bunch of mutalisks. Would deal with those Immortals very nicely here, because 12 or so mutalisks would deal with this very nicely. I feel like. Third space is now up for SoupyC. Third base just now on the way. Halfway done for Nexaz. It's always nice when you see a bronze level game go into the third base phase, especially in PvZ, because PvZ is a matchup where you could theoretically stay on 2 bases forever. I like the creep spread here. This creep spread is amazing for like pro players, right? Like, what is going on here with this creep spread? Every base is connected. All the bases he would ever take are connected by creep. Very nicely done here. I don't know if I like these lings here. 70 supply to Nexus. 123 for SoupyC. Pulled ahead there. These lings aren't going to be very good against the heavy Zealot army that has now developed. And all these probes are going to fall, actually. Very nicely done here by Nexaz. SoupyC not controlling his probes very well at all. And it couldn't focus this. No, don't brash those lings up against there. Oh, very poor decision there by Nexaz. All those lings are going to fall. And actually, I don't know why SoupyC is running. Actually did that to get his lings back in the front. Would like to see him retreat with these lings. All those lings do fall there. It looks like SoupyC has actually turned the tides of this battle. +1/+1 is about to finish for the roaches of Nexaz. Nexaz going to 16 roaches. That's not going to be very good against the Zealot Immortal Stalker army that is going to be knocking down at his door. Third base is now up, however, for Nexaz. So he does have a slightly more production. But is it going to be enough? Because these Immortals, there's 2 Immortals on the way at a time. He's already up to 6 Immortals, 7 Immortals. Do you know how many Immortals 7 is? I still can't get over this creep spread. My creep spread sucks, and this creep spread's like amazing. 12 drones are on the way, so we know Nexaz is draining a little bit behind this. 135 supply to 100. I don't know if he needs drones right now with 5,000 minerals in the bank. Protoss has 1,000 minerals in the bank. Nexaz needs to just work on flooding some more units, maybe using that Spire tech that he developed. I'd love to see him switch into the Metalopolis tech, because actually there's not that many Stalkers out on the map right now. Only 15. And if you made enough mutas, who cares about the Stalkers? SoupyC looks like he wants to push out a little bit. Please attack the tower. I love attacking the Minx statue because, you know, F Minx, man. F Minx, that's right. I'm a baby. I won't say it on air. My friends watch this, man. My mom might watch this. I'm not cussing. That's bad, bro. 4 mutas are on the way. 4 mutas will not be enough to deal with this. How many larvae does he have? 14 larvae. Nexaz really just needs to focus on his larva control. So much money, so much larva. And good mood, great mood, sorry. You get a great mood, not a good mood. Great mood, who's watching this live. So if you're watching this on VODs, great mood, chatter. If you're watching this, he asked what's going through each player's mind, and I want to know the exact same thing here. You know, he points out that SoupyC has 174 supply, huge army, and he knows his opponent's been going to roaches. Why is he playing defensive? It's a really interesting thing to get into the mind of the players. And look at this, going to kill off all these scouting zerglings here for every player. But I'm very curious to see what happens. And oh my gosh, look at that huge warpman. I love watching a huge Protoss army warpman. I always think it's super amazing. 192 supply for SoupyC. Next has 125 supply. Looking at the army tab, what is it? 140 to 68. Okay, SoupyC, just push right now, bro. Just go in and kill him. And Nexaz should be able to see this. He certainly can because of all that creepily. Look at that. Look, he can see almost half the map. He can see every single place on the map, and it's absolutely crazy. 18 roaches about to pop. +2/+2 did just finish. So the upgrade advantage heavily in favor of Nexaz's favor, but I don't think that's going to matter. There might just be far too much here for SoupyC. SoupyC is going to go ahead and push into here. Look at that. All the Metalopolis are going to die. The Metalopolis were the saving grace for Nexaz. The great concave there for Nexaz. Nexaz with a huge concave, actually. Will the upgrades or the army size prevail? 120 supply to 136 supply. Are the upgrades in the concave going to prevail? No. Looks like the army composition of Nexaz is not superior. 126 supply to 125 supply. Nexaz has turned the tide of the battle, and it looks like SoupyC is actually going to retreat here. What in the world just happened? A huge advantage for SoupyC was just thrown away by attacking into a bad position. Oh my gosh, all the mortals could destroy that army, but at the same time, the engagement point was just not good for SoupyC. What did we just watch? I don't know. That engagement was crazy. The concave for SoupyC was like this little ball, and Nexaz had this entire concave army very well spread. SoupyC, what's the army supply like? 102 to 83. All those more immortals could just destroy this army if he just gets a somewhat okay engagement. But the upgrade advantage does make those immortals a little less strong against the roaches. But here we go. Looks like the immortals are going to push in here. Another better concave for Nexaz. All the immortals are pushing in here. Immortals doing sick amounts of damage. Metalopolis are joining the battle here. Looks like the immortals are prevailing a little bit. The army supply falling for Nexaz. Nexaz 110 supply to 128 supply. Nexaz with an army lead, but Roach is not good against immortals. But all the Metalopolis did prevail. All the Metalopolis could take out every single immortal. Immortals, because they're so awesome, cannot attack up. Every single immortal here could fall. Look at all those immortals just scattered in the wind. 124 supply to 125. Nexaz takes a supply lead. All the Roaches just now popped for Nexaz. Nexaz with a huge advantage. Stalkers are going to come in, and Nexaz smartly retreats. Nexaz, just produce stuff, bro. And what just happened? Nexaz, produce stuff, bro. You got it, man. Just spend your 2,300 monies. Just spend it. You have 3 bases and 1 billion warp gates to only 3 larvae. Just spend it. Is SoupyC even aware of the third? No. What? Look at the scouting information from SoupyC. This is actually just pointed out in the cast in the live stream by Great Mood again. But look at this. No knowledge of even the natural. I mean, he's got to assume there's a natural by now. But he doesn't even have any idea of the third. And all the drones are going to long distance mine here. It looks like they are going to go ahead and do a little bit of long distance mining because that base did mine out here. Something that both of these players could take away here. They just need to learn about the unit counters. I think once Nexaz realized that the mutas were really good and the roaches weren't very good against immortals, this battle would have been totally different. 6 sentries are on the way, and that'll actually help a good bit, big warp in sentries. And I do like the 4 pylons here by SoupyC. I've kind of hit a little bit of a lull in this game while both players are catching up. Control this watchtower, but Nexaz has control of the map with his creep. And that's not a very good position for SoupyC to be in, letting the Zerg remax all of his stuff there. +1 flyer carapace is on the way. 11 more roaches are on the way. And roaches are going to start to be a little more effective in this army since the immortals are whittled down a little bit. But when I say whittled down, there's still 12. 14 lings are on the way. Big warping of stalkers are occurring. 178 to 184. I can't believe that Nexaz has a supply lead after all of this. Zerg with a lot more money. Protoss should win this engagement. Let's make that very clear. The army supply is very similar, but Protoss should win this engagement. And let's see how it's controlled by both players. Looks like the army is going to bash in here. Half the army of Nexaz is not even being used in the fight. Force field's pretty darn good here from SoupyC. SoupyC, not with a good concave. Nexaz with a pretty good concave. Oh my gosh, the Metalopolis are attacking all of the immortals. The immortals are actually falling pretty quickly, down to now just 6. Oh my gosh, all the roaches are going to pummel through all of this. Just so much stuff from Nexaz. Nexaz with the money advantage, and all the Metalopolis and the roaches are going to push through. Great Mood said it. This game is pretty amazing. What game am I watching? Am I watching like Lenok versus Violet last night? What in the world? Nexaz gonna take this game. 29 roaches are about to pop. That is so exciting to see. GG from SoupyC, and he's right. That was a great game. SoupyC leads the game. Nexaz, you shouldn't have won that game, bro, but more power to you. Great engagement points there from Nexaz. Great job to smack. What? Great usage. The Mutalisks focus fire on the immortals in that last battle was not Bronze League. The Metalopolis saying, I'm going to attack each of these immortals very individually and let the roaches use their superior upgrades and their concave. Because the roaches were 2-2 to the 0-0 of the Protoss with this sick concave that stretched all the way around here. I don't know. I just need a break. Worker counts. 51 to 52. Pretty straight up and down boardwalk. Didn't get a lot more better than that. What? Sick nasty. Absolutely sick nasty. 0 army supply. Waka waka waka. Alright, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Yeah, right? Tell me about it. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, Great Mood. I'm going to go dark for 2 seconds to cut the VOD, and then I'll say something. But, yeah, 2 seconds. Thank you guys for watching. Follow me on Twitter. YouTube.com/I'mJerman040991. Subscribe to me on Twitch.tv/I'mJerman. Good night.